y'all, Woo here. Today we're going to talk about an experiment conducted by Harvard-educated Yale professor of psychology Stanley Milgram in 1962. The results were published in 1963. This correlated with the celebrated trial of Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann. At the time, it stirred up one hell of a shitload of controversy, and the inconvenient ripples are still being felt today. Why, you ask? Well, I'm going to put you folks straight right now. Milgram's experiment, conducted at Yale University, consisted of 40 adult males between 20 and 50 years old. They were respondents to an advertisement in the local newspaper where they would be paid $4 an hour for their participation. The experiment was ostensibly about memory training, where there would be the experimenter, who was guiding so-called memory lessons, the teacher, who was viewed as merely an assistant to the experimenter. He would be conducting the memory lessons according to the experimenter's orders, and the learner, who would receive questions from the teacher. But the real experiment was on obedience to authority, where the teacher was obliged to follow the experimenter's orders as a key part of the protocol. The roles of teacher and learner were supposedly selected randomly by two participants picking a folded piece of paper from the experimenter's hand. The experiment was set up in booths where the teacher couldn't see the learner, but he could hear him through a loudspeaker. If the learner gave a wrong answer to a question, as instructed by the experimenter, the teacher was ordered to administer a punishment for the wrong answer in the form of an electric shock, which at first was very mild, but with each successive wrong answer, the teacher would administer a stronger shock to the learner at the insistence of the experimenter. The highest possible voltage as punishment for wrong answers was a fatal 450 volts that the teacher believed he was able to administer to the learner. All participants in the study reached the level where they believed they were administering torturous, agonizing but non-fatal 300 volts of electricity to their learners, in spite of the learners' contortions and screams of agony and desperate pleas to stop. Shockingly, and totally unexpectedly, a full 65% of the subjects followed the experimenter's explicit orders and delivered the fully fatal 450 volts and believed that they had actually killed the learner. Unbeknownst to the teacher, the dice had been loaded. The so-called learners were actually actors employed by the experimenter, and there was no electric current in the wires. The whole thing was bogus. The following is actual footage of the experiment. I feel it is necessary for you to experience the horror yourselves. Of course, you are not ordered to watch, but it would be at your loss not to.
You want to step right in here, learner, and have a seat there. You can leave your coat on the back of that chair if you will, please. Take it right off. That's fine. Have a seat right here and pull yourself right up to the counter, please. Teacher, you may look on if you'd like while we get set up in here. Would you roll up your right sleeve, please? Left sleeve. Fine. Now what I'm going to do is strap down your arms to avoid any excessive movement on your part during the experiment. Is that
150 volts. Answer, horse.
Oh. Experiment, that's all. Get me out of here. I told you I had heart trouble. My heart's starting to bother me now. Get me out of here, please.
Continue, please. Go right on.
I refuse to go on. Let me out.
Refuses to go on.
The experiment requires you continue, teacher. Please continue.
Let me out.
That guy's hollering in there.
Continue, please. Go on.
Well, there's a lot of them here. hear you. He's got a heart condition there. You want me to go?
Just continue, please.
I can't stand the pain. Let me out of
You
here.
can't stand it now. I'm not going to kill that man in there. You hear him hollering there? He's
As I said
crying.
before, the shocks may be painful, but
Yeah,
they're not
but he's in
dangerous.
there hollering. He can't stand it. What if something happens to him?
The experiment requires that you continue, teacher.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get that man sick in there. I mean, he's hollering in there. You know what I mean?
Whether the learner likes it or not, we must go on until he's learned all the word
I
pairs.
refuse to take the responsibility of him getting hurt in there. I'm not. He's in there hollering.
It's absolutely essential that you continue, teacher.
There's too many left here, and geez, he gets wrong here. There's too many of them left. Who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman?
I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue, please.
All right, next one, slow. Wrong. Answer is day, 285 volts.
Continue, please.
Fat. Man, lady, tub, neck. Answer, please. Wrong. Answer is neck, 300 volts. Green. Grass, hat, ink, apple. Answer, please.
Go on with the procedure, please, teacher.
315 volts, the answer is ink. Next one.
I refuse to answer.
Well, you gotta keep getting a shock if you don't answer. The next one is rich. 330 volts.
Let me out of here. Let me out of here. My heart's bothering me. Let
Next
me out,
one.
I tell you. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. You have no right to hold me here. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
Next
Let me
one,
out.
fast.
Let me out. Let me out.
Bird. Car, train, plane.
Go on, please, with the procedure.
Please answer. The answer is bird. 345 volts. Blunt. Knife, stick, word, arrow. Answer, please. Is he all right in there? I didn't hear nothing.
Continue, please.
The answer is arrow. 360 volts. Something's happened to him. I don't hear nothing.
Go on, please, with the experiment. Please continue.
Soft. Rug, pillow, hair, grass. Answer, please.
Go on, teacher.
Hair, 375 volts. I think something's happened to that fellow in there. I don't get no answer. He was hollering on less voltage. Can't you check in to see if he's all right, please?
Not once we've started. Please continue, teacher.
Cool, day, shade, water, cave. Answer, please. Are you all right in there? Are you all right?
Please continue, teacher.
What do you know, I keep giving him shocks?
Continue,
I'm
please.
up to 390.
Continue, please.
Something's happened to that man in there. Next one, gold, dollar, necklace, moon, paint. Something's happened to that man in there. You better check in on him, sir. He won't answer me or nothing.
Please continue. Go on, please.
You accept all the responsibility?
The responsibility is mine, correct. Please go on.
Gold, dollar, necklace, moon, paint. Answer, please. Are you all right? 405 volts. The answer is moon. Next one, hard. stonehead bread work? Answer, please. The answer is head, 420 volts. The next one, wet, night, grass, duck, cloth. The answer is duck, 435 volts. It says danger, severe shock here. Next X on the next one.
Continue, please.
435 volts. Next one, brave, woman, soldier, dog, horse. Answer is woman, 450 volts. That's it.
Now continue using the last switch on the board, please. The 450 switch for each wrong answer. Continue, please.
I'm not getting no answer.
Please continue. The next word is white.
But you think you should look in on him, please?
Not once we've started the
But
experiment.
what if something's happened to the man, had an attack or something there?
The experiment requires that we continue. Go on, please.
Don't the man's health mean anything?
Whether the learner likes it or not, we
But
must...
he might be dead in there. I mean, some people can't take the shock, sir.
Please
I
continue.
don't tend to be rude, but I mean, I think you should look in on him.
Whether
I mean,
the...
all you gotta do is look at the door. If I don't get no answer, no noise, something I think has happened to the gentleman in there, sir.
We must continue. Go on, please.
You're gonna keep giving him what, 450 volts every shot now?
That's correct. Continue. The next word is white.
White, cloud, horse, rock, house. Answer, please. The answer is horse, 450 volts. Next word, sad, face, music, clown, girl. The answer is face, 450 volts.
So, what does this tell us about ourselves? 2/3 of us are blindly obedient to authority and will follow orders even though, in other circumstances, we might find the nature of the orders abhorrent and is totally against our conscience, empathy, and sense of right and wrong. Is this why it's always been so easy, from the dawn of time, to create enemies out of thin air and readily amass armies to fight them? With uncanny ease, we can be manipulated into believing in an impersonal, less than human, evil enemy. We are hypnotized into dreading fabricated differences that we fear and hate, and on ad nauseum. In the final analysis, we're not as courageous, independent, strong-willed, and copacetic as we trick ourselves into believing we are. Too often, we don't do the right thing and allow wrongness to prevail. Stanley Milgram was inspired by the horrors of Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. Today, we have COVID-19 pandemic to show us how obsequious we are. We have meekly submitted ourselves to blind obedience and punished, ridiculed, marginalized, and vilified those who resisted, those who questioned and hesitated in following the prevailing autocratic narrative. They are the others whom we have been brainwashed to fear and loathe. Of course, this is totally misplaced aggression. It might not be a bad idea to kickstart some of your critical thinking skills and get your minds a bit back on track. It's all pretty gall-darn pathetic, don't you think? But that's just who we are. We might as well cop to it and get on with our little obedient lives.